I always thought romantasy meant that people and dragons were fucking. And then I learned that the people and the dragons were doing two separate things near each other. And then I was like, what the fuck is going on? Hi, I'm Maris Kriezman. I am the author of the essay collection, I Want to Burn This Place Down. I run a newsletter called the Maris Review because I like puns and books. And, you can find me on Blue Sky and Instagram. For many years in my early 20s, I wanted to be a book editor. And when I was laid off from a job and couldn't find my way back in, I changed my professional ambitions to just be near books. And that's when I was able to really start reading and writing about it. I wrote I Want to Burn This Place Down partly because I was so sick of hearing the message that everyone gets more conservative as they age. And that just has not been the case for me and not for a lot of people I know. And I feel like the more I learn and the more I get out in the world and talk to people, the less I believe in the institutions that I formerly did. So it's about that disillusionment, but it's also about what we want instead. So yes, people are very, very concerned about the fascist takedown of free speech. I'm on the board of a group called Authors Against Book Bans, and we've kind of come together to be the first person to call when there's a book ban happening in your town and you want someone to speak to it. I know so many authors, particularly children's book authors, but also romance authors who have seen their salaries decrease, their school visits decrease. The entire ecosystem that used to keep them afloat is now under attack. I think that part of my book and part of coming to terms with everything now is thinking that we're post something, that we're post book ban, post racial, post feminist, whatever it is, and learning how quickly we can just go back. So much progress can be erased within, a couple of laws being passed. It has been so frustrating to watch the term free speech be used so that the jabronis can say whatever the fuck they want, and the rest of us just have to take it. And yet, when we want access to films and books that they might not agree with, suddenly that's not a right that we have. One of the reasons that I decided to focus so much energy into Authors Against Book Bans is because there are wins. There are wins every week, every month. And it's a good reminder that the majority of Americans don't want this. They don't want book bans. They don't want their speech taken away. At the local and state level, we've seen so many great activists fight against this and win. This is when I tell people to really try to go back to reading what made you fall in love with reading in the first place. And so if you have a favorite old book, like I read Anagrams by Lori Moore every time I feel like I need to be reminded about the power of fiction and words. If yours is a romantasy or a thriller or, an obscure biography that's your comfort food, then go back to that and go from there. For this coming fall, there are so many good books. Trisha Lockwood has a new book called Will There Ever Be Another You? It's something that she has written about her time during COVID lockdown. Angela Flournoy has a new novel out called The Wilderness, which I'm really excited to read. Megha Majumdar has a new one, A Guardian and a Thief, and that was just nominated for its first award. I should also mention The Four Spent the Day Together by Chris Kraus. She's the author of I Love Dick, and she hasn't had a new book out with a major publisher, maybe ever. So I'm really excited to read that.